So this is a problem from before, is that when we're doing our on message received, we're making sure that this user is registered at the channel, but we're not actually pulling the user out here. This is returning a channel. This should be returning a user, right? This is the Twitch user ID that I'm passing over. So if I look here at register user to channel, what I want to actually do is return the IBLL Twitch user. Here, your Twitch user, you should also have an ID. And then something that says that it's from the server. So just a second. This one creates an ID right here. Once it creates it, otherwise it's going to remove this user, right? Down here, when you register this user to the channel, you need to return Twitch user, which is this one here. So that's return BLL Twitch user. And then down here, we can just say return null. We look back up here. We'll let this ID be created here. Channel is going to equal to, so user here is a user server DTO inside of this BLL Twitch message. The user should be equal to your if you look here again, you're going to try and remove this channel, otherwise it fails. And then here you want to remove your user in the channel. So this is the problem, is right here. You want to change this to there, and then this needs to be a try and get of this username, and then we're going to say a out var BLL Twitch user. And now we can get rid of this, and that looks better. So this should be user dot channel user dot channel user is a DTO. So your channel would be inside BLL Twitch user. You should have a reference in here to your protected IBLL Twitch channel. So that's the channel that it's associated to. We'll bring this one in. That's looking pretty good. I think we need to expose that. So down here, we do a public IBLL Twitch channel. BLL Twitch channel. I guess we could just say, yeah, BLL Twitch channel. Okay. Let's go ahead and add that to the interface. Okay. And why is this unhappy? It wants the channel that it's in. So this is Twitch channel. What? This is the last one. So here you need to have user.channel. Wasn't this a BLL? So your user here, when you look at this, this should be, because this is also a business logic layer in your base message, user is a W. Wait. It was back here. I didn't like that one. So let's go back to user server DTO. I was fine with that. The one that you wanted to change was channel, because we want it to be the DTO. So I think we can do that. Let's go ahead and build that. Okay, it says here, when I'm trying to add this on my channel, it can't because I don't have a channel associated here, which is channel.channel, just that. But that's a BLL Twitch channel. So you have this, okay? And you have this one. This is also in the Twitch channel. So you get to do this. User server DTO is coming from the user and channel. So here, user is getting assigned from here. Just a moment. This looks like where the problem is. Here is where you're getting your new BLL Twitch user. You're saying that this one's from the user here. Where's the references for this one? Oh, it doesn't look like you're ever calling this one. So real quick, this one here is this, and then we'll run it. Now this one needs to know what the channel is, which is Twitch channel. Okay, let's go ahead and clear it, and then we'll run it. So hopefully now, when we register, which needs to be, it's in your on something poll, something BLL polling, you have something called fire polling events, which must be handled on your providers. It's not. So let me look at your it's on channel, right? Pardon me. That was the problem, is that it's on channels. So that's under models. Bots models. Here. And here's the 3 registers. So I guess there's only 2. So when you do this one, you get a new ID. And this one is where you register your ID. So your user gets your ID from here. And this is getting called when your is from server equals true. So when you register this user to the channel, this must have the new ID. It said that this is never being used. Now, I don't actually believe that. I believe that this thing is being registered when we grab that one from the server. Let me check. So that's here in the BLL polling for when we register our user IDs. Because in the polling events, when you're adding them, you're requesting the data, and then you're firing these events, Twitch user IDs poll, which on your channel is your post. So it's right here. It's going to be that one. Then what you're saying is that you want to so we're going to change this so that it actually makes sense. Okay, this will be T. User here is coming from this one. So that's a little different. T, Twitch user, is your user in channel. Okay. Okay, so this will be, I don't know, cast user name in channel. Cast unique, I'm not into that. We'll just say cast T. Now we can change this one to be cast T. I bet you could just do this. And then probably remove these. It's okay. We'll go back. Okay. And then here, you're going to say this one, dot channel user dot is from server equals true. What's wrong here? Sorry, that's a user in channel. That was right. Okay. Do you have a roadmap set up for this project? up here. I haven't put on paper, but we're actually just about completed with the functionality of it. And then I just need to clean up the MVC and we'll launch. I guess the SSL is the thing that's giving me the most problem. I'm actually having a really weird issue on my AWS, and I think I have to restart my server. I don't know. Actually, Keith, if you can help me after, like, I've spent a lot of hours trying to resolve this really stupid issue and I can't figure it out. Okay, so here, this is where you're adding and removing them. And so you're saying that this thing has a new channel in user channel, which is your DTO, and you're setting that to your user server ID. So I'm going to double check this one, and now here, you're going to add it. Then here, your channel users, you're going to, if it's from the server, then you're going to this is really bizarre. For each user in the channel, I want to, if it's from the server, then I want to add it to channel users. Otherwise, I want to add it to channel users. This is insane. Okay. And then here we want to do this one. Channel user create, channel user server. Let me go back on this one. It's a little confused there. Just a second. So channel users is a list of all of the values of your channel. Okay. And channel user. Okay. So that was right. It was a users in channel dot value dot channel user. I don't know why I'm doing this. This is nuts. We'll just do a channel users dot add, and it'll be a VLL based user dot channel value dot channel user. Because I think I need to cast these, and that'll work. Okay. That's fine, and that's fine. So let's give it a try. I needed to see why it was failing still when it was assigning IDs. So we're going to check to see if it's server side. It might be server side. Basically right here, I want to make sure that my user ID for LiverDev trying is popping up. So give it a moment. In another hour, we're going to be opening it up to song requests. We're trying to do that between 9 and 10. Let it load. We'll see it here. Give a user IDs poll. When it comes back from the server, we'll see what's going on. You gonna be here for a bit, Keith? Because I got a cool little command system I think you might like. This one says that this is an E1 something something for a user allie.chat. I don't care about that one. You don't care. That's not the one. That's not the one. No. That one. 1B3A3CDD. That's correct. So now it should be adding that user to the channel. Here. One B3A3. Here, let's add in the cast dot display name equals user dot display name. Username. Actually, do we care about that? I don't think we care about that one, right? Because this Twitch user server should also have a display name on it. Let's add that. Oh, it already has it. Interesting. That works for me. So that's working, and then we add it. Okay. That's easy enough. So where's the problem with where it's pulling the wrong ID? When you look back at the currency poll under its own project, you have a get your users online Elasticache. So when you look at get users online over here, if it's from server, you want to add it, and you're just going to add it. It's nothing exciting. BLL channel.channel online users, which is send channel data. If it's from there, then you're going to make users user DTO, and then you're going to create it. So let's double check that. It's going to be such a stupid error when we figure it out. Remember, guys, music request hour in 50 minutes, so you can actually queue them up whenever you want. Okay, it's been added. Here we go, nothing yet. Give it just a second. My channel users online are 0. Here's my users. If I look at probably like 2, there's LiverDevTrine with the correct ID. So that's been successfully written. And now here, it was in the rewards. When you did this pixels, it's going to catch it at some point. Okay, it failed where in okay, it says that it's got a problem when it's trying to serialize now this with the channel. So that happened when I changed my Twitch user to include a channel. So let's remove that. Moment. Gross. Okay. That's fine. If you look at the implementation, I think you just destroyed that. Remove that. This one. Okay. I think you have to do two different things here. This needs to be a var user equals get user from channel. Like that, okay? This is going to be a channel. And if you look down here, IBLL Twitch channel. This one doesn't have that. You're going to create it, and then down here you're returning Twitch channel. Right? But here you have to get channel. So you have a get channel from user from channel. So you'll do that just right under here. IBLL Twitch user, and it's going to say get user from channel, and we'll pass in our channel name. And all we're going to do is if my channels joined dot try get value, and we want to do the channel name dot trim dot to lower, and we want to do my out var BLL channel. Then what you want to do is you want to return that. Otherwise you want to return null. Sorry, I got a little cough there. All right. Now, my channel. This one here needs to be a we'll do get channel joined here. No, I like the other one. Now what you want to do is if my BLL channel dot try get value, users in channel dot try get value, and we want to do the username. and we want to pass in the out var BLL user. Then we want to return the BLL user. That looks pretty good to me. This needs to have a username and a channel name, so that's a e.chatMessage.username. And then an e.chatMessage.channel name. Let's go ahead and run it. Okay, just a second. So now here, your user is a user.channel_user.user. And your bot would be a, pardon me, we don't care if it's a bot at the moment. But I think that should fix it. Okay, let's run it. Okay, it's going to start up. It's online. And we run pixels on that. Give it another minute. Just another second. It hasn't written any users because we're watching it. It'll say successfully wrote the 12 users. Now we need to wait for a currency event. Okay, so here we go. If we look at the user ID of this one, it's our correct ID. Our stream user is still equal to null. That's fine. Give it another second. Let me let it make sure that it's writing one more time. Okay, let's try it again. We're going to grab user IDs. It looks like it grabbed it. It doesn't equal null. And it looks like it worked. All right. Now, I believe that that's all going to be in memory on Elasticache, so it'll persist only until I restart it, and then I need to it's interesting that it got the usernames all lowercase. And then it needs to this is being assigned. There you go. Bam. See? It should be updating fairly quickly, but again, it's on multiple timers, so it'll take a little bit for each one. There, now it should have updated. Patrick says he has infiltrated my database. Did it break? What happened here? Huh. I wonder what's going on right now. That was weird. It's like it didn't receive some of those messages, but that doesn't make sense. What's your polling interval that you have set on this? I'm going to take a look at currencies. What? It returned no currencies, it says, but yet here we are. So there must be an error in that web API. No, we don't have a cooldown at the moment. But it is, oh, it's not updating everything. It's not polling them before it's updating them. It's just writing them at the same. But I have it on a queue on Twitch so that we're not going over our rate limit. So I wanted to. How's it going, Dan? Welcome. I don't know if I've seen you. I think lurking a couple of times. Thanks for popping up, though. Channels user online poll. Twitch 15 on the Twitch rewards poll. This is how often this thing is going to fire on it. If I look here at streams, under currencies, which is rewards, there's definitely one. Okay, so where we are getting that updated is in the client services, right? Which was here. And it's down here under the wrong one. Rewards client services. Server. So you're creating this request somewhere, which was here, and here. When you're adding currency, what you want to do is, for each users that you've received, you want to take what they have and you want to add it. Don't you have something here called send data or something? Doesn't that send the request? Create stream users quantities. Yeah, so let's do that, which is this request. See, it didn't work like that because you need to have request available here. This is a bool, so we can just swap this out. Okay, if I look at quantity equals, wow, that was all. When you look at this, this says quantity as an integer. You're going to say var quantity new equals your user dot quantity. No, second. Currency stream dot. There's one currency and you have a quantity of it. That's the amount that you're adding to it. But the user that you want is a currency stream user, not this currency. So this is a currency stream user DTO. Because this one has a quantity associated with it. So now you can say var, you'd say user.quantity plus equals to your currency stream dot quantity. And now this one would be user quantity. And we need to change this one in the base class there. And then this thing needs to be this one. Wow, I don't know what I just changed, but let me go back and redo that. It was this one you wanted to change. And then that one you wanted to change. Okay. There's one error, which is here. That's because this wants a list of user server DTOs, which is a currency user server DTO, currency stream user server DTO, currency. Oh my God. Okay, and now here, this is your unduplicated one. And then here, you need to add and here, you don't want to get your channel users online. You also want to get your now what you want to do is you want to get it out of your currency stream users, right? And that's going to be await your client service dot get currency stream users currencies transactions asynchronous, and that's going to be for your currency stream, which is this. So only if it's routing are you doing this, and that's going to be for each currency, which is perfect. And so now what you're doing is you're saying, okay, get the users that are currently online in this channel, and then if they currently have not been added, then you want to first see if they exist in your currency stream users existing. Okay, sorry, this one is an array, so we want to do a to list, and then we want to do a singular default. I don't think we need that as a list to do that, though. S, where my s dot user ID is equal to my user dot ID. So here, you're going to say var existing user equals this. This needs to be toString. And now if this is equal to null, then you want to do something. Then you want to add these here. Else you want to add the other ones, which are this one. This is going to be a currency stream user transaction server DTO. Which is the one we want. Now I don't want to do that. We're going to do our currency stream user DTO, server DTO. We liked this one. This was the right one. So now here, what you want to do is you want to add the existing user, which is a transaction server DTO. What's the difference there? Let me look at this. I mean, this is definitely the one we want. So then when we looked at this other one, this is just the user ID and the quantity. So we should get rid of that one. Okay. Didn't we get rid of that? And so now this needs to be like that. And this way we're making sure we're getting our user data transfer object in there. Okay, just a few of these. User here is just going to be equal to user, which is, this is a currency stream user server DTO, currency stream user server DTO. So we should just add this as a user. Currency stream user. This now has a user which has this ID in it, and you can get rid of this one. Now you have this user server DTO and this currency stream user server DTO. So this is still here. Your existing user is this. So this needs to be a var currency stream user equals new currency stream user server DTO. My quantity will be 0. My user will be the user. The ID will be assigned right now. Then we will add these two. Okay, let's look at the errors in build. That's because at the moment how it was written was that it wasn't updating it, it was just reassigning a new record each time. And then if you weren't already in there, then you didn't get anything. So now it should, I think even if you're not in there now, it will tell you that you don't have any currency at the moment. Okay, so here, you can get rid of that. And this here is a user transactions.user.id. Same thing there. This one goes away. This is a user. This is mapped because it's coming from the data access layer. So it's a mapper.map, and it's going to be the type user server DTO from my user currency stream user.user. That's fine for me. And then here, this one, you can get rid of this. Same thing. User dot request dot currency stream dot was it item dot user dot ID. And are there any more? All right, let's give that a whirl. Here we go. We got to let it connect. And then we'll do a pixels on that as soon as it adds. Oops, I don't know what that spelled. Okay, said null real quick. Let's just start here. Said that real quick there, didn't it? You know why? Because it's this. Because S is not equal to null and I don't even need to see it again. I know that that's where it was. Give it a second to join. Okay. We'll try it again. Wait for it to start. Oh, well, you're stupid. We'll get it right here. Wait for it to join. Bam, now it's not erroring. So that's was what it was. Now give it another minute. Okay, we got 14. We gotta wait for it to write them. See, that's fascinating. It's like sometimes it doesn't want to show it to me. Hasn't registered it yet. Now it wrote me as online, so let's try it again. Okay, let's wait for it to do a currency event. See, it never wrote it out. Interesting. So it's on the bot side for when it's writing, but here we go. Whoa, there's our currency event. Let's try it again. Okay. Let that run for just a little bit. In the meantime, we're going to take a look at this. When you send this message, it enqueues it. When you fire your timer, and you send it, Let's see if we got more. Ah, now it's additive. Try it again. Yeah, see, it doesn't always want to show it. Try it again. So it says that it wasn't able to dequeue a message here. Okay, that looks fine. And now if I look at send message, that should be fine. Let's look at it again. Does it never queue it? How many channels did it join here? Or is it just taking a minute to respond? Well, it's additive. So let's try stopping it, and then we'll restart it. Because we want to make sure that this is in fact per user now. And I think that this thing's ticking every 20 seconds. And then we'll do a little bit of a stress test on it. Okay, so everything is running. Just give it a second. So maybe it's just in that one little time interval. I think so. Okay, so look, so it reset it because it's in memory. And it's changing the ID because the because the initial one, when it's grabbing the initial record from the database here, it's in this one. Client services, not the library. Where you're assigning this. So here, if this channel is online, and it has a currency, and for each one in it, if the currency is past that next date, then you want to see if it already exists. So if my existing user is equal to null here, you don't want to create a new one. That means that this, hold on. So since it's off at the moment, when I run this, I should see that prior to anything that it's going to start here. Let me see. Because your currency stream user is existing. Is from there. So if it's null, I don't think you want to, I think you want to break. That's what I think it is, and I think you want to go to the next one. So that way we're not overwriting and starting again at 0, and that way we can hold it in the Elasticache server and have it consistent across each one of the different tiers. So give it a second. Pardon me. Give it just a second to tick. Okay, channel users online. At the moment it's saying 0. And so now here you can say if my channel users to update dot count is greater than 0. So let's actually leave that for now. And here we want to add it and then you're going to put that right under my channel users to update. So that's there. That should probably do it. Wait for it to start. Okay, it's been added. It's going to say it hasn't been registered yet. Okay, then you're going to get your channel users online.count. But I think also because you're creating a new one of these, you need to make sure that you're adding all of your users each time. So let's make sure of that. Okay, it wrote everybody. Let's see now. My channel users online is 12. So now it's going to work and grab my It's only going to add existing users here, right? Oh. Hold on. If the existing user is equal to null, then you want to return, right? Because it doesn't currently exist. But you want to add a new one. This is storing everybody, right? Because here you should be adding currencies. So when you're here, we're going to change this to be users to update. And then we're going to make one more called currency stream user server DTO called users all. So here, for each one of my var users and users all, if my transactions dot any s, where my s dot user dot id does not equal my user.id, then you want to make sure that you add your user. So let's add this to the base class. Let's add this to the base interface. And then we want to change that anywhere else? I don't think so. Here you want to do users all, which is going to go existing stream users. Let's try that. Now it should only build on that table. Well, Elasticache record, it should only ever add to it. It shouldn't ever remove any users off of it. So we got to wait for it to register me. Wait for it here. Okay, it's going to just a second here. Okay, we're checking to see if the count is greater. If it isn't, then we're going to update that record processing and nothing happens. Key says, all right, I made a lot of progress, so many particles. That's awesome, dude. Are you streaming? I don't think so, right? Probably not. All right, it's running the chatters polling event. It's run the user IDs polling event. Give it a minute to run this one. Chatters online is 16. If our count is greater than that, then for each one of these, we want to make sure that we end up with everybody. So here I want to make sure then that every single time that we only ever fire and have a greater number of users. Nah, watching movies and stuff. Nah, I understand that. So now, that one seemed to work fine. It fired and said, sequence contains more than one element. Where would that have happened? Here in program, it's definitely here. Because you changed this and you said that for each user in there, if it doesn't exist in there, then you're going to create that new one. Otherwise, go create one here. Okay, hold on. Down here just to make sure. If there is not any. Just one stupid little thingy. Okay, let's go ahead and run that. It might fix itself because of that. Let's find out. Well, Keith, I don't know if you're still there. I'm hoping if you got a little bit, I'm having a really weird problem with AWS. I didn't know if you had a couple minutes you could help me out. It's like a really weird one. I've literally racked my brain for a lot of time trying to figure it out, and I figure I could outreach. So give it a moment here. I want it to write because it had double sequences in there because I had a sign wrong. So it was duplicated. So let's just make sure that it updates first. Okay, give it another second here because I want it to run this. It's going to tick through. Okay, here we go. It's going to run. I didn't ever see it complete here. Well, there it is. But it's never firing. I want to see what's happening right here. One more time. This thing is saying that it's failing every time because Wait for it. Okay. For each one of the streams, if it has a currency, it does. Then we're going to check to see all this stuff. For each one of these channels online, we're going to go ahead and check to see if it doesn't. Then we'll do all this stuff. Sequence contains more than one element. So that happened right here when you were doing your channel users update. If in this doesn't currently exist, that was it. Let's give that another run. And then we'll just make sure that this is right now because I changed that sign. If there's not anywhere in there where that is equal to that, then you want to add it. You can get rid of that. And we'll run for real. So much for this being 5 minutes, but had a couple of bugs in there we had to work out. It's been added. If I check it, this should fail just fine. Okay, give it another moment. Now here my polling event stream is 0. So we should actually probably put in a check on that, right? We will. Wait for it here. Currency stream still is nothing. It hasn't registered yet. Wait for it. Okay, here it is. Our count is still 3. Let me check it again. What's the death screen? What happened? And you're going to create a new one. Okay. I'm always like the 3rd one or something, right? Okay, so it says that this currently exists in 2 places in existing users. So that's actually a really easy fix. I'm going to restart my memcached server just a moment. Oh, the death screen in your game. I thought you meant in your engine. Now I need the enemies to do damage to me to kill me when your character dies. I'm with you. Let's go ahead and restart this memcached server. This will resolve the issue. Only takes a minute. Clean up these windows a little bit in the meantime. Almost through it. If you don't know, guys, all these videos are up on youtube.com/c/liverdevtrying. From the first one up to where we currently are at, I'm like 4 or 5 videos behind, but I'll be doing that immediately after the stream today. Almost done. Sorry, it's over on the other monitor. So a memcache server, if you think of a SQL server, right, that's got structured data in it, and it's stored ultimately on a disk, and you can make backups. A memcache server is just stored in RAM. So it's sort of like having just holding your objects in memory, but if you're making something that's n-tiered, that has multiple layers that are going to be on different computers, you want them sometimes to share that state data. So that's what I'm using Elasticache for, this memcache server, so that any of my different states can utilize that, and that way I can have this application scale horizontally as needed. Okay, it reset, so all my data is clear because of the reset, because it's just ephemeral data. And now if I look at my node and everything's launching, I can see that all of my memory is freeable again. I had only used 100 megs, and I'm not releasing resources at the moment. Let it start. I guess here we wanted to add in, before I forget this, if my currency streams.count is greater than 0. Try that again. Just another second. It's just about done loading. It's been detected as online. Let it join the channel. When's it going to join the channel here? Interesting. Just give it a second. That means that it didn't successfully write to Elasticache the first time. There we go. Now we'll see everything start to tick. Remember, we're on a fresh database right now, or memory instance, or whatever you want to call it. If you wait a second, you'll see all the chatters are pulled. They all have user IDs because it's pulling 300 per however many seconds I have it running at. Okay, here we're going to pull and check. It's not going to fire this because my currency streams are currently 0, I believe. Did it hang? What happened? If you look at this, it says that this, what? Value cannot be null. For which one was null? Let it run again. It's because I'm pulling something from a fresh database for the first time, so give it a second. It wanted to find what? Okay, here we go. Now in this, if that, then I want to get my existing user, and it says that my existing user cannot be null because your s.user cannot be null, and Let that run again. So now as long as I don't reset this, we should be good. And then I can write another poll tomorrow that goes through, and we'll do that first thing again in the morning. And that one's going to go through the in-memory cache, and it's going to grab the list of the currencies and then write them to the database so that we have persistent data. And that way we can keep the load on the database minimal, because it definitely was doing too much work before. So let everything run. I want to see this thing get right here. Or was it this one that was null? So let's check that. Because it might be this thing that's null, which is being created here. Give it a second. Okay, here we go. And it is. Okay, so it wasn't this. This wasn't where the null check was. It was right here where this thing is being created. Of that. Run it one more time. That ought to do it. That should make us lose our nulls because it'll just continue through. It's not going to find anything, and then it'll assign the new ones and then pull them. So that should do it. Give it just 30 seconds. Okay. Pardon me, it's pulling. Let's make sure that pixels are working at this point. I'm going to say not registered, right? Perfect. Wait for it to register. Should be here. So I still don't see it hitting. There it is. We'll make the new users and then we'll add them. And then we're going to fire the poll, and it created it. So now if I were to run it, it's reporting correctly that I have 5 pixels. We'll let it go for just another second until I get like 10 or 15, and then we'll stop it. We'll restart it. I should have the same number. Okay, that's another currency event, so I should have 10, and I do. So let's go ahead and stop. Now we're going to restart. Same test as before. It should fail immediately. Oh, it's not on the channel yet. My bad. Sorry about that. Okay, it's been added. Okay, give it a moment to register everything. Try it again there. Perfect. And it didn't forget, and we're using ephemeral data. If I restart it, it goes back to 0. So we're going to let that thing tick for a little bit. I guess we could do a stress test on it. Let's just start one real fast and see how this goes. So if we look at Twitch U Online here, we look at our browse, and we look at our popular. Before I do this, I wanted to make sure that on my program that I can see the number of users that this is working on successfully. So this is just to add an account to a debug log, which is here. It's called on rewards poll completed for this plus for blank, which is going to be your e.currencystreams. Couldn't I do like users? No, currency streams dot var user count equals, and then it's going to be your 0, and you'll do a for each e var item and e.currency streams, and then you'll do a for each item dot var item 2 or something like that, and item dot, and then you have currency stream again, and then users transactions, and then you have in here item 2 dot user. So you're going to do this as a count, user count plus equals to your item dot currency streams dot count. Now we can run it. We're going to stress test it. Now one of the fun things to do is to use the channels that aren't in English, but go ahead and do a couple of larger ones. We'll do localhost, and it's called streams. Let's go ahead and log in. We're going to add over here to streams. Hey there, DevExter, welcome back. Now remember, this thing's polling like every 20 seconds, so that's pretty hardcore, so we'll see how well this does. And now we can add in here, I'm a QT pie. And let's also add in here, we're doing a stress test right now while streaming. We can do Tim the Tatman. We can do Arthas. And we can do Sol. It says SOLARY. Okay. Over here, if we want to watch the chats, we can. I think I turned off the broadcast, actually. Did I? No, there they are. So at the moment, it's joining all the channels. So you'll see that start to happen. You can see that we wrote 605 users in the chat at the moment. And it's going to say that we just did a currency event for pixels for 21 users, and our next currency event here should be for, and you can just watch, this thing's just going to start to tick. I'm watching my frame rates here on OBS. Okay, I have all 20 users of you in here, so you can check out your pixels if you want. Wait for it to write. Successfully wrote 1,500 users online. Currency event wrote for 1,545 users. So it's interesting that it fired twice, but that's okay. it doesn't take that long to respond at the moment. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a quick break. I'm going to be back in, let's say 14 minutes, 15 minutes. I'll put it up on the timer. I'll put some music on. We'll continue to let this thing run. I'll watch my frame rate a little bit. And then when we get back, we're doing music request hour. So I'll turn on the song requests and we'll do one more hour and we'll get our command system set up. So if you guys haven't, please join our Discord. It's the main way that everyone stays in communication. If you could support the channel here by clicking on the follow. And then also we have a YouTube now, which is youtube.com/c/liverdevtrying. And all the videos on this project from the very first one up to where we currently are at are up there. And I will see you guys in just a few minutes.